In this video, we will explore the whole ResultSet interface, which types of methods are in the ResultSet, and what are the functionalities of those methods. In this video, we will see the navigational methods which are contained in the ResultSet, which are used to traverse through the tables. So we will see the in this video navigational methods. We will get brief overview of those methods and will perform the practicals of each method in the next video. Exploring ResultSet. Okay, first method is public boolean next. This method will move the cursor onto the next row. As I've said in the previous video, will move the cursor in the next row. This method is used to traverse in the forward direction into the ResultSet object which we have got using the select query. So using the next method we can traverse through row by row. Second method is public boolean previous. This method will do opposite of next. Will, as the name suggests, previous will move the cursor in the previous row. This method is used to traverse in a backward direction into the table. And third method is public boolean last. This method is used to move the pointer directly into the last row. After performing execute query, suppose I have performed the select query on an info table and I have 500 echoes and I want to go directly onto the 500 rows, 500 row, then I will use this last method. It will jump my pointer directly into the last row. And opposite to that, there is a method public boolean first. It will do opposite of last. This method is used to move the pointer directly to the first row. Now if I am on the 500 rows and I want to go on first row, then I will use this first method. I can go to the first row from whenever I suppose if I am at 10th row, I use this first method. I will go to the first row. If I am at 20th row and I call this first method, then I will go to the first method. Next method is public int get row. This method will return the current row number. Suppose I have 20 row in my ResultSet object and first time I have called the next method, so I will go to the first row. Second time I also call the next record, I will go to the second row. I call the next method, I will go to the third row. I call the next method, I will go to the fourth row. And now I call the get row method. Then this method will return the current row number. It will return the 4 integer. Its return type is integer. It will return 4. This method returns the current row. So to know how many rows are in their table, we can use first of all last method to go to the last row, and then we can call the get row. So it will return the current row number, it will return the last row's number. So using this approach we can know how many rows are there in the tables. Okay, next method is public void before first. Public void before first. This method will move the pointer before the first row, not onto the first row. Listen carefully. Before the first row. When we actually execute our select query, our pointer will add before the first row. Then we call next method to go to the first row. Before the first row means before the first row. Understood? This method will move the pointer before the first row. This method is not actually used in generally, but it is used in special cases which we will see in later videos. Next method is public void after last. Listen carefully. Last method will move pointer to the last row, so we can access the data of last row, but after last method will move pointer after the last row. This method is used to insert the data to the result set object, because to insert the data, first of all we will have to move the pointer after the last row, and then we can insert a new row. That I will show in upcoming videos. This method will move the pointer after the last row. Next method is public void absolute, and inside that it takes one argument, integer row underscore number. This method will move pointer to the specified row number. Yes, this is used to jump where you want. If we have 20 record and you want to jump to fifth row directly, you don't want to use the next method 5 times, you directly want to go to the fifth row, then you can use this method and you can pass here 5 as an argument. It takes a row number as argument where you want to jump. It will move the pointer to the specified row number. Okay, next method is public void relative. Okay, it also takes argument as integer row number. Okay, then what is the difference between these two? This method will move the pointer to the specified row number, but relative to current row. Listen carefully. Relative to current row. If you are at second row and you pass as an argument 3, and you call the relative method pass argument 3, and you are now at the second row, then you will go to the fifth row. It will jump 3 rows relative to current second row, and absolute method will jump from the first relative to first row. If you are at second row and you call the absolute method with argument 3, you will go to the third row relative to first row. If you are at second row, you call the relative method and pass the argument 3, you will go to the fifth row, because relative to second row, your third row will be fifth row. Next method is public void move to insert row. This method will move the pointer where you can insert a new row. We will directly see this method in two practicals, because it is used in special cases. And the another method is public void move to current row. After inserting the row, using move to insert row to return to the current row from where you have inserted the row. This method is used. We will see directly into the practical. We'll move the pointer to the row after inserting a new row. So these are the navigational methods of the ResultSet interface, which are used to traverse in a various way into the table. Using these methods, we can traverse very smoothly in through the table. In the next upcoming videos, we will first of all see these practicals of these navigational methods, and then we will also explore other methods of ResultSet interface. Thank you. Continue watching, like my videos, share my videos, subscribe my channel. Thank you.